Hi guys, it's Sam here with Bargain Hunting Blonde, and today I'm bringing you the last of my 3 giant Hermes haul unboxings. And so this is giant bag number 2. And I didn't have a giant bag for haul number 1 in the San Francisco store because at the San Francisco store they recommend, and I agree, that you take a white bag so people don't know where you've been shopping when you walk back to your car, if you're walking around, just because we have a very bad smash and grab problem in San Francisco, which is very unfortunate. But okay, so what we have in here is everything from Zurich, which is very exciting. Does come with a bit of story time. So I'm just warning you now because this is very exciting. I think we'll start with the smaller things. There is a bag. So each of these hauls have had a bag, though none of them are quota bags, but I'll explain that when we get into it. So maybe I'll start with the Twillies. I think I just got 2 because they didn't have doubles. So let me see also if I can, I think I actually put my Hermes receipt. I was hoping I had it, but I must put it somewhere else because the prices in Zurich are much better than in the US, and most of the time the Swiss franc and the US dollar are about 1 to 1. They vary a little bit, maybe sometimes a little more over 1, a little under, but very good pricing wise. So a lot of these were way less than US retail. I also didn't pay taxes on it, and then I got that back, which is great. So if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know I spent a lot of time in Zurich for work. Had an apartment there, love Zurich, would move there. So I was very happy this summer to be able to take my husband to Zurich because he had not been able to go when I was going for work because he was in law school. So we embarked to Zurich. We really didn't do a lot of shopping. We only did shopping on this one particular day, and I only went to 2 different stores because I was hunting for Hermes stuff, and then I wanted a pair of loafers from Loro Piana, which they did not have. So didn't do a lot of shopping, did a lot of sightseeing because I really wanted to show him like around I had a lot of places I wanted to eat and stuff like that we had a great time just wandering around Zurich. But on this particular day, I wanted to get to the store like as soon as it opened, but my husband is not a good time adjuster with when we travel to different time zones. I am just used to it from work. I at one point was like traveling between 3 different time zones. So to me, the alarm goes off, like even if I'm exhausted, I'm going to get up and I'll find some caffeine. He was not like that. So I would like get up, I would go to the Coop, as I like to call it. I know it's called the Co-op, but I like to call it the Coop, which is their grocery store, and pick up breakfast stuff. They have really great like baked goods just to pick up quickly in the morning, bring it back. I'd eat it. Eventually he'd get up, eat his. So we didn't get to the store until like 11:30, which meant there was about half an hour. They estimated half an hour to an hour wait, which is fine. I did not mind waiting in the store in Zurich. It's been recently redone. They were working on it when I was traveling back and forth for work. It is a kind of cool store. Like when you walk in, it's a small bottom level, but then there is a second story. Because the second story is on top of actually the restaurant that's behind it, which the restaurant that's behind it is very kind of like touristy Zurich, but I actually love to take people there. It's actually an old armory, so there's a bunch of really cool different like weapons and stuff, obviously not like used anymore, on the walls. It has very, very traditional German like sausages and food. They have really good roasties, which I love. So if you're ever hungry and you're stopping at the Zurich store and you want something that's kind of like German comfort food, I would describe it as, behind the store, the Zurich Hermes store. But we went there, waited a while. If you are someone who lives in Zurich and you're just like checking in to see if they have something or picking up something, they will kind of see you before they see everyone else waiting in the queue, but they do follow the queue. So appreciated that. We ended up getting a really nice essay. And she was like, what can I help you with? And so I kind of explained to her initially, no bags, but like what I was looking for. And when I unboxed them, you'll see. But to my surprise, they were willing to take things out of the cabinet, like small leather goods, and sell them to you, which is not something they're normally willing to do in the US, or even in like the London stores I used to shop at. So I got a lot of really great things. They had such good stock. And the prices were so much better, and then I'll explain to you kind of about the bags and everything when we get there. But first, let's start out with these Twillies. So like I said, these are 2 different Twillies. And you'll see it's because with the bag I got, I do not, I'm only going to tie a Twilly to one of the two handles, which kind of gives you a bit of a hint. Okay, this does not have the name on it, but this actually is just really fun. So she was really great at recommending like fun Twillies that I wouldn't have thought of for the bags. And this one is just really fun. There's some penguins on it. There was a giraffe on this other side right there. There's like a bunny in the clouds. But the thing about this one is that when it's wrapped, the colors look really great on a bag. And then I love that like the bottom is like a darker blue than the top. So this is a very fun Twilly that I had not seen before that she recommended I look at when we were looking at the bag. And then there's one more. This is a little more like less, I don't know, fun, but also beautiful colors. Looks really good with the bag as well, which is probably giving you a hint of the color of the bag based on the color of these. But this is really beautiful. It's a little more like a graphic Twilly, a little bolder. And it was fun because I was picking up Twillies. I have a tendency to be drawn to the horse Twillies, and these are not horse Twillies. So these were fun. I had not seen them before. They had an immense selection of Twillies in the store, which was crazy, like way more than I've ever seen. I think she took out like 4 trays. But that was great to look at. So picked up those. Then we'll do the what's in this box. We have a bunch of littler boxes and we have the big box. So I was very excited. This is like such a random, like if you're an Hermes collector thing. But to get this ribbon, so this is the 2023 ribbon. And if you guys have seen my other hauls, I have bought a pretty good amount of stuff in 2023, and I have not gotten this ribbon. So I was very excited to get this ribbon. I have this ribbon for every year that I've been shopping at Hermes. I think it's fun and I need to find something to do with it. So this was another item that they had. She brought out so many colors for me. So let me show you what it is and then we can discuss. We can chat. I know everything, like, you can't see there's this giant bag in front of me with all the stuff in it. Oh, these smell good. This leather smells good. These are the beautiful Hermes Orans in this dark green color, which I just loved. So I asked her what they had in a size 41 and a half or 41. These are actually a 41 and they fit me the same as my older style 41 and a half. So I'm not sure if the sizing has gotten slightly better on these, but she brought out this color. She brought out the like vert cricket, so the light green color. She brought out a like blush color. She brought out more like neutrals, but I already have a lot of neutrals. So I was interested in these green ones, which I love. I think they're so fun. They're similar to my Vert Cypress color Birkin, but they're a little brighter of a green. And she brought out, what are the sandals called that everyone's like obsessed with because I wanted to try them on. I'll see if I can find a picture of them and put it up on the screen because I cannot remember the name. But she brought those out as well for me to try on, and they had them in my size, which never happens. I almost always have to order shoes, and they did not look good on my feet. They were a hard no. My feet were like sliding around in them. Maybe they look good on people who have like a little bit wider of a foot and a shorter foot. They just did not look good on me. But it was nice to be able to try them on and to see them because I had not been able to find them in the US. They were sold out everywhere. More of the really exciting 2023 ribbon, and more kind of like small leather good things, which none of this you could ever find in the US. And I have no previous Zurich shopping history because when I was traveling to Zurich, I was very hardcore Louis Vuitton girly. So I bought a ton of Louis Vuitton when I was in Zurich, and I had a great sales associate at Louis Vuitton, but I literally never went to the Hermes store. I don't know why. I would have saved myself, sorry, I gotta move this big bag, so much money, but I didn't. So I had no Zurich history, and I explained to her I've bought in London and Paris and the US, but none of those were linked to Zurich. So I had to set up a new account. So my current essay cannot see any of this. So let's start with what's in this, which if you guys know Hermes, you probably know the shape of this, but very exciting. So they had these just by the giant wall of small leather goods that they had, and then the giant wall of purses that they had, including like a beautiful box Kelly in a 25 in a green box. It was beautiful. I love box leather. And it was just, I was like, oh, like, are you, like, can I look at those charms? She's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, I can buy one? She's like, yeah. So she just, like, took them out of the display case, which is giving you away what this is. But I was very excited to see this. It's very cute. I don't have one of these that is one color. And clearly there's a trend on what I've bought. And it is this cute little Rodeo PM that is just all one solid, beautiful, bright blue color that I love. They had a bunch of different colors, but in the MM and GM size. And I will say, a Rodeo PM girly. The others, I tried on the bag that I bought and they just looked too big. No Pegasus, but they did have the style that they're calling the, it's like, I want to call it the emo Rodeo. It's not the emo Rodeo. But it's the one, I'll put it up, that has like the brush sort of stiff hair. They had a bunch of those in a bunch of different colors. It just wasn't really my style. I preferred the all leather Rodeos. So picked up this little guy. Very excited because, like, in the US, if you guys are Hermes shoppers, you can know how hard these are to find. And they do come available online, but the bots on the US website pick them up like instantly, which is really unfortunate if you're just trying to shop. Then these are items that I have been hunting for forever in the US. So let's start out with the smaller of the two. It is very hard for me at the stores I've shopped at in the US, which is San Diego and San Francisco, to come across small leather goods that are not neutrals. So I know a lot of people really just like to buy Hermes neutrals, but I think especially for Hermes, their colors are great. And it's so fun to buy a small leather good that is a bright pop of color in your bag than just like another neutral. So open this little guy, and it is this very fun Calvi card holder. So I have a Bastia that is like basically this exact same color, but it's a Bastia, so it does not hold cards. This is a Calvi, so it holds cards. And it is the Vert Verso Calvi, so it is a darker blue that's kind of like a blue purple on the inside. I love this. This was just on the display case, and she was like, oh yeah, you can definitely have that. Again, never happened to me before. At an Hermes, they had another color that was a yellow with a purple interior, and then they had a bunch of neutrals, but these were like the colors they had, so I picked out this one. My husband really liked the yellow one. He's like, you should get the yellow one. I was like, I don't like yellow. That's like one of the colors that like I don't like. I would do like a very light yellow, but this was like a very bright yellow, like their soul color, so it's like a sun color. And that was just not it for me. So I was super excited to find this, and I wish I had my receipt, but I am not sure where I put it. But this was, I think, about $100 less than it is in the US, just on this little piece alone. Doesn't include any of the other savings on the things that I got. So very great. And then this, which is incredibly exciting. And now that I'm opening this, I can finally use it. I was really being very good and not wanting to, if you guys probably noticed, I feel like I've mentioned every video. I'm a little over 6.5 months pregnant now. So when I got this, I was pregnant in Zurich and spent a lot of time, actually felt pretty okay in Zurich, but spent a lot of time not feeling good. So I didn't get to unboxing all of this until now because I just did not feel good. Which I feel like, you know, depending on your pregnancy, some people had it really bad. Mine was not the best, I will admit, but I'm feeling much better now. So this is something that I've been looking for, and I've been asking and asking and asking, and just could not find one. And it is this beautiful, the compact silk wallet. So this is not the super small size. It's like the medium-ish size, so it does hold cards. And this is in a beautiful grease pearl, which is showing up a little wider than it really is in real life. It is definitely a gray. And then it does have a little Barania pull there. So let me show you guys the interior. And the interior is this really fun purple with like kind of like a blue pattern on it. It's very similar layout to the LV zip coin, which I love and use as a wallet. So I will be using this as a wallet. On each side, you have 3 slots. Then you have a little coin in the middle, which is lined, you guys can see. And it has the little H zipper ending, which I love. I find that so fun. And the little zipper pull does say Hermes, and then you have another 3 on the other side. And then you do have the little Hermes Made in France tag right there, which is also in the grease pearl. So she had this again just on display, and she's like, oh yeah, you can have that as well. And she brought out other colors, but this was the color that I wanted. They didn't have any of the, like, the smaller Burn wallet. They had the bigger size, which doesn't surprise me in Zurich that they were stocking a lot of the bigger sized wallets, because I saw a lot of women carrying Birkin 35s, Birkin 40s, like much bigger bags. Everything was skewing bigger bag-wise than smaller bag-wise. But again, I was offered all of this like out of cabinets. She was bringing it out to me. I have no purchase history in Zurich or anything like that. So really great. Really appreciated that. And now on to the biggin. So like I said, they had a wall just full of bags, like full of bags. And I mentioned to her, I was like, hey, do you, I'm not going to ask for a quota. Like, do you have any of this one style, which you'll see which is the bag I got it because I wanted it, because I noticed they had some in the cabinet. And she was like, oh, well, are you going to be able to come back in tomorrow? I was like, no, unfortunately, like, we're flying out to London tomorrow for a friend's wedding. Today's our last day. You know, I'm pretty open. I just want a color, like not a neutral, like a color. And I'm open to the 2 sizes of this bag. And I said, you know, and we chatted a little bit, and she's like, let me see what I have. And then she did come out with this box, and had the brown wrapping on it. And she's like, so I have this color, which is a blue. I also have the smaller size in a green and a light purple. And then she had this color in a neutral of some sort, or this size in a neutral of some sort. She's like, I think though, based on what you like, that this will be the one you want. And I'm like, that sounds correct, because like the green they have was a very bright green. I'm more of a dark green person, though I do like dark green. And then I do not like purple. Purple is probably like my least favorite color, even besides yellow. And then I didn't want a neutral. So I was like, this is perfect. I really appreciate her bringing it out to me. She brought it out to me like on the floor with a bunch of other people. I had actually kind of been eavesdropping while I was waiting for her to come out with this bag. And the lady behind me came in and was like, oh, I want a Birkin or a Kelly. And she was not Swiss and not from Zurich. And so the SA kind of explained to her, we only offer those bags to local citizens. But we do have, which I've never seen this before, we do have sizes that you can try on. So he went into a cabinet and brought out in a couple different colors the different sizes of the Birkins and the Kellys she wanted to try, which I have never, ever seen before. So these are just like, they're like try-on sizes. And then he expressed to her, you need to try to buy one either in Paris or in your home country. So if you're hunting for a quota bag, Zurich, is probably not it. You might get lucky and they might be willing to give you one, but as someone who lived there for 2 years but wasn't a Swiss citizen, I still don't think I would have been offered one, even though I did have a Swiss address. So I might have been able to get away with that. But like, if you don't have a permanent Swiss address and you don't have a relationship with a sales associate, I don't think they're going to offer you one. They are also European. They follow what the European Hermes does. And so they just have a wish list where you put your name on a wish list. And if you live in the area, once it comes in, they call you for exactly what you want. You don't have to like go in and have pre-spend and all of that. So I thought it was very interesting that they had those sizes to try on. But I did not see while I was there anyone else get offered a bag. And I was there probably for like 2 or 3 hours. So without further ado, let's dive into this big old box, which I carried all the way wrapped to London, to a friend's wedding, on a plane. So, through Zurich, through London, Heathrow, all of that. But it was worth it. Also, very exciting. I have never gotten big ribbon before. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is like big ribbon, like big, thick and chunky ribbon. And then actually, this haul was kind of like the perfect color haul, because then we found out after that we were having a little boy. So it kind of all worked out nicely. But I've also always been in my blue era, because blue's my favorite color, if you couldn't tell by everything else I bought. So without further ado, let us open this big old box. And this is a bag that I was very excited to get, that I had also said to her, oops, there goes the care booklet about the type of leather, which all Hermes bags come with this little booklet. And I had mentioned to her that I was very interested in this bag, the style, but also like the leathers I was interested in. And she also was shocked. She's like, what? You don't want Epsom? And I was like, no, I do not like Epsom. So I think I shock every SA I talk to when I'm like, I love Swift, I love Barania, I love Box, like, give it to me. Because they're always confused by that. But without further ado, let me show you what I got in this dust bag. And it is the very beautiful, look at this color, very beautiful loop bag in the 22 size. So they make an 18 and a 22. This is the 22. She, like I said, had bright green and a light purple in the smaller size, but I actually really love this size. This bag reminds me so much of the Picotin, which if you guys know me, you know I love the Picotin. And I also love this bag. I love the Clemence leather, which is this pebbled leather that it's made of. It's like squishy. It's so nice. And then the handle is swift. So, I wish I could find my receipt because I knew exactly what color this was at one point. It's not Blue France, but it's very similar to Blue France. It is this beautiful royal blue. Like, it is showing up pretty true to color on the camera. It is a little darker in person, but beautiful squishy leather. Fun thing about this bag is if you wanted to take off this, you can, let me take out the stuffing. You can clasp it and kind of change its shape. So there's a little clasp right here. And you can clasp it and somewhat like bring it in so it is much more like the size and shape of like kind of like a Picotin is what that reminds me of. But because it also has this great clasp and then it has this little hook over here, you can easily get a strap on this bag if you wanted. So I am probably gonna get an organizer for this bag because you can see it's a little slouchy from being stored in its box. But also just because I do like it to look like this, I think a little more than like clasped in and slouchy. Another thing that to me makes this bag a better design than the Picotin is it does actually have this little pocket, which is really great to have a pocket in a bag that's kind of just like a beautiful empty pit. This bag smells so good. The leather smells so good. And then another fun thing about the loop bag, besides the chain d'encre style on the handles and on the clasp, is it also has that on the bottom. So if you're an in the know Hermes person, you will know, okay, this is now showing up the right color. You will know what bag this is, and if you're not, you won't. This is a newer style. I have literally never seen it in the US. I had been asking for it as soon as it came out, and I just had not been able to get my hands on it. And also a lot of the ones I'd seen in the US were neutral, and I wanted a color. So like, look at this color. So I was very excited to be able to get this. I thought it was funny how at first it was like, oh, can you come back the next day? And then all of a sudden my husband was like, oh, and then something miraculously appears. And I was like, that's just kind of how Hermes does it. That's just like what they do with their, like, seeing if you really want something, seeing if they're willing to give you something. And so we did have a good laugh about that. But I was so excited to get this. And then I wanted to carry it immediately. And I, as someone who's traveled in and out of Zurich, probably 50 times, maybe more. Zurich customs, 1, do not pack it in your luggage. They will ask to see it. 2, they will question you if you've used it, if it looks like it's been used. They are one of those custom places that will do that. And so you need to be able to say, and I'm not a good liar, so this is why I don't use it. I say, yep, it's right here. I'll unbox. They'll ask you to sometimes open a couple things. And then they'll be like, have you used it? I'll say no. And especially when the ribbon's tied on it, it's very clear that you can say, I just opened it for you. No. As you can see, they were pretty busy when I went this time. And the customs person, like, when I asked, I was like, yep, whole bag's right here. Would you like me to open anything? I always try to be really nice. She was like, oh, no. And she just stamped it. But I have other times, many times, had to open and show them that I have not used the item that I'm bringing back with me. So another fun fact about Zurich Customs is Zurich is not part of the EU. So if you are leaving Zurich, you bought something, you have to have it stamped in Zurich. If you do not, the other EU countries cannot stamp it for you. So for example, if you're shopping in Paris, then you're going to, say, like Marseille, you go to like South France, and then you end up in Barcelona. You can have all those receipts from those other places stamped in Barcelona. They're all part of the EU. You cannot do that for a Zurich receipt. They will not stamp it for you. So fun fact, leaving Zurich, go to customs, get your stamp, and then go to the, that's not the last thing. You then need to go to the Global Blue little kiosk, which is like very close, and then say you want it back in cash or on your credit card. If you paid in Swiss francs, which you should always pay in Swiss francs, get it back in Swiss francs, because or else you pay a lot of money on the exchange rates. Fun facts of someone who's bought way too much stuff in Zurich. So that is my Zurich haul. I got when I did the math and the VAT back. Basically, everything you saw, so the 2 Twillies, the Calvi, the compact silk wallet, the Rodeo, the pair of shoes, and the loop bag, for the cost of the loop bag and the compact silk wallet in the US. That's like basically what it came out to. It's a little different, but like generally that's what it was at, especially once you add the California tax. So I know this was a long video. I appreciate you guys so much for sticking with me. If you want to see more handbag reviews, more handbag reveals, handbag comparisons, please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video, which right now is once a week. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.